Okay, so I'm going to be, the next is an extremely important topic, design exam strategy, as in for, for every exam, it's not good enough if you're really good at something or even if you work hard, you must also have a strategy. You should understand what this exam is all about and how to prepare for it. Strategy is everything because it gives you a lot of leverage. That means if you spend X amount of time and if another student spends maybe double the time that you're spending, you can actually get more marks than the other student. So that's extremely important. Okay. So before I start, how many students here are in the 12th standard? 12th standard students, put your hands up, okay. 12th standard, okay, put your hands down, please. 11th standard, for me just to get a vague idea. 11th standard students, okay. How many students are appearing for their design exam? Put your hand up. Design, okay. For architecture, okay, and fashion, okay, good. So some of you will be answering two exams, that is some of you design and architecture or design and fashion. So I will be covering all three, that is design, architecture, and fashion, a strategy, a basic strategy. Please remember, you can always come and talk to me even after this if you want to understand it more in detail. And I definitely, and I did want to talk about this when the parents are here because even if the parents understand, it's much better, okay? So, let's start off. Okay, this is important. So the students, I'd like you to write down information, okay? So there are some things I need you to note down. So what I'm telling you, if you follow that, you'll actually do well, okay? By the way, last year, of course, the toughest exams to get through are NID, IIT because of the numbers and the NIFT top 3 schools, Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, these are very difficult to get into, and even the architecture top schools. See, everybody can get a seat, but you need to get a seat in a good school, okay? That makes a big difference. Last year for NID and IITs, I think round one in 3 students, 1 in 3 DQ Lab students cleared round 1. That means for every 3 students, 1 student cleared round 1. That is huge. Because the NID round 1 is a very difficult exam. It's a very, very difficult exam, 1 in 3. And the final, round 2, 1 in 5. That means for every 5 students, 1 student from DQ Labs got into either an NID or an IIT last year, okay? Some of them will come down now in the holidays. Some of them have sent videos, yeah? The classes, school is going on. So they will come down. We will have interactions with all those students. You will meet them personally. So next time when we send you a message, please make sure that you come when those students come. You can directly ask them what to study, how to study, what they did, things like that. Possibly November or something. As and when they come down, we will ask them to come and meet you. We will announce it. Don't miss it. It'll be really good. So the point, okay, so even if you want to go statistically, the number of students that answer these exams, your chances are 1 in 100, okay? It means if you take all the students who answer the exam and all those who get in. But if you follow a certain, you know, if you're smart, okay, in a certain, and if you follow a certain system of doing it, your chances are much higher, okay, with the same amount of effort. So let's start. Look at this sketch. It's really beautiful. Nice. This is done by a DQ Lab student, 12th standard student. Okay, amazing work. So why I'm showing it to you is, I'm not showing you this to scare you as to what some students are doing, but definitely to help you raise your standard, or, you know, oh, some students are coming out with work like that. Aditi Neti, anybody, she's here? Aditi Neti? No, she's not come. But anyway, she's there. Okay? She comes to Indranagar studio. How has she done this? This is through digital artwork. That is, you have a Wacom pen tablet through a computer. Basically, it's done through a computer, okay? I'll show you another student from Mangalore. He is very interested in, this is his sketch, okay? So some of them are doing really, really good work. But, now this is the important point I want to make. You saw those two sketches, absolutely beautiful, right? Does that mean they'll get into NID or an IIT? No. This is a very important point I want to make. I want you to understand. You may be awesome in your sketches. You may be brilliant. It does not mean you'll get into an NID or an IIT. That's the first thing you need to know. Okay? Because these kind of sketches that you see, both the sketches that you saw, are done on a computer, and it takes time. Each of these sketches take half a day, 1 day, 2 days, 1 week. It's of no use. It's great. It's awesome. I mean, it's a brilliant skill. But in order to get into an idea, you need to write a written paper, which you need to finish in 3 hours. Okay? And it's got a lot of questions. So you got to draw, and you got to draw fast. Okay? You'll not be given any computers or nothing. Pencils, color pencils, that's it. You should be able to draw fast. So the first thing I want you to understand, why am I saying this? I'm saying it for a reason. Because in the past, I've had many students who are really good in sketching, excellent. I mean, if I show you, it's like an ID was made for them rather than they are made for an ID. That kind of talent. Many of them don't get through because they don't follow the right strategy. Okay? When I say strategy, of course, I mean you need to know your aptitude, you need to know your GK, you need to know so many other things in order to get into a good school. So you may be very good in your sketches, but that's not good enough. That's really good. It's fantastic. You will smash that section, but that's not good enough. You need to be much better. Okay? You need to be good in all sections. What is that? So there is drawing. In drawing, there is art. There's creative thinking. There's a big difference between art and creative thinking. Art is draw your hand holding a pencil. You'll draw it exactly how it is, like a photograph, okay? Or draw somebody's face. Creative thinking is different. Creative thinking is, if you have shrunk 1 lakh times and you're on a 5 rupee coin, what do you see? You understand? If you go to a different world and you see, what kind of world would it be? What kind of environment, what kind of creatures or life, rather, has evolved in that atmosphere? Creative thinking, it's completely different, okay? In fact, what Dr. Ghoshal said was very correct. He's saying there are 3 skills. One is a skill itself, 3 inherent traits. A skill means I can draw fantastic, okay? But maybe you're not good, you cannot really, whatever. You can draw fantastic. He said you cannot talk. I've come across people like that who draw and, they really can't talk a word in public. That's okay, but they got fantastic skills. Second one, someone can think well, visualize well, can dream well, but cannot really put it down, in paper. And the third is someone who can research and read well, right? GK, knowledge is good. Finding out information is good. They're very interested in certain things. So this exam actually tests you for all 3. You need to be exceptionally good in all 3, okay? And these are the 3 skills you need to have. So you need to be good in all sections, that is drawing, artwork, creative thinking, 2D graphic. 2D graphic is a completely different skill. Aptitude, mental ability, puzzles, visual spatial ability, general knowledge related to your area, design, general knowledge, fashion-related general knowledge, brand ambassadors, fashion companies, brand endorsements, architecture-related general knowledge, architectural awareness, who is the architect, who are the famous architects, what are the famous buildings, what have they done. You need to be very good in your GK related to your topic, okay? Mathematics, English, analytical reasoning. So you need to be good in all of this. But there is one more thing you need to be also good at. Time. That's the most important thing, okay? So you should be good in that plus time. When I say time means you should be able to do your work fast. You should be able to do your work within those 3 hours. It's of no use. You may be fantastic, you may be awesome, but if you're not able to complete it within that specific amount of time, again, it's a pity, okay? So therefore, you need to practice speed sketching and doing things fast. That is critical. So please remember something. Speed sketch is extremely important. So especially the 12th standard students now, I'm going to have speed sketching classes. So now whatever you got to draw it fast. You have like say 10 minutes, 5 minutes. That's it. You've done. That whatever you've finished, you've finished. That's all. That is what you can showcase. But remember, if you have a time constraint, even the other students have time constraints. So it's what you're able to do within that given time. You've got to optimize. The word is optimize, okay? Optimize is, okay, how much detail do I give? How much information I give in my sketch? How much of shading do I do? How much of light or everything? You've got to optimize your time and you've got to optimize your marks. Okay, I'm very specifically getting the attendance done for this round because this round I actually would like to mark which students have attended this talk or not. So please fill in your attendance, the student's name, and I will mark each and every student who has attended this session, okay? Because your exam is not far away. You need to really follow what I'm telling you here. Now, study hard and study smart. There's a big difference here. Okay, study hard is, I'm studying 15 hours a day, I'm studying 20 hours a day, but what are you doing? Right? I mean, you should be studying something effective. You should be studying something as per the syllabus, okay? That's extremely important. So let's look at all the different things we can do that if you're able to study, put X amount of effort and also put it in a smart way, then you're in a real, you're on a real good track, okay? Just one pointer I want to say, UCED has drawing this time. I don't know if you're aware of it. So they've announced it for the first time. They're going to have 60 marks out of 300, which is 20%. Still they have drawing, which is fantastic. So those of you who are good in drawing, this is your opportunity. Unlike in the past, UC did not have drawing. It was only a paper-based test, which I didn't agree with, but fantastic, they have drawing this time. Now, a couple of students, especially design students here, okay, design students, design parents, a lot of them keep saying portfolio, portfolio, portfolio. Okay, my portfolio is not ready. I've done nothing in my portfolio, okay? Portfolio is not going to help you at this point of time. Please get this very clear. Portfolio is not going to help you now. There are two gates. There's gate 1 and gate 2. Gate 1 is happening in Jan. That is for NID, UCED, NIFT, and IIT JEE paper 2. Okay? It's a paper-based test, which you have to finish in 3 hours. You have to draw in 3 hours, okay? Of course, NIFT is a 5-hour paper, GAT and CAT, but on an average 3 hours. There is no portfolio. Nobody's going to ask you for any portfolio, okay? So that means those of you who are focused and worried about your portfolio, forget it. It's not going to help you. You're wasting your time. You understand? Instead of that, you need to focus on your round 1, because only if you get through round 1, at round 2, there is, basically it's a studio test. And even in round 2, they do not ask you for your portfolio, especially in NID and IITs and NIFT. So who are the students who should worry about portfolio right now? Number 1 is if you are going abroad. Your priority is, I want to go abroad. Then your submissions are in October, November. You need to focus on your portfolio. But if you're not going abroad, or going abroad is not your priority, then don't worry about it. Why I'm bringing this up is because many parents say portfolio is not ready, this is not ready, but don't worry. That's later, not now, okay? And that too later for other schools, other than NID and IITs and NIFTs, not for these schools, for other schools. And besides that, there's a lot more there at Gate 2. There is material handling, there is situation tests, there's a lot of other tests that you need to go through, so don't worry about portfolio now, but don't worry about the gate 2 now. That we will have a different talk and a strategy later on. So let's focus on gate 1 and what you need to do very specifically for gate 1. Once again, like I said, you got to be smart. So this exam actually tests those students who are also smart. Smart enough to figure out what to do for round 1. You understand? That is extremely important. So, a little more. So I've seen a lot of students doing this kind of work, you know, a lot of digital artwork, a lot of, some of them like to do a lot of material handling work, a lot of very extensive, elaborate paintings. So if you're in the 12th standard, 11th standard, okay, by all means, you have time, okay? 12th standard students, please stop doing all this. Extensive drawing, extensive painting, which takes time. Stop. It's more like a, you know, yeah, I know you're doing it like a stress buster. You want to do it, and once something's in your head, you have to do it. I know the kind of students you are, but any elaborate work which takes a couple of hours, just stop doing this because you're wasting important time which you can study GK, you can practice aptitude, you can practice mental ability, you can solve puzzles, and you can learn how to draw fast. When I say draw fast means maximum pencil sketches, environment shots, human figures in different perspective, humans in action, storyboarding. You got to do that fast. You got to shift your mode. I hope you understand. Because some students will sit and paint the whole day, half an hour, half a day, 1 day, 2 days. What you're doing is a hobby. I mean, it's improving your skills, yes, but it's not going to help you from the exam point of view. So be careful what you do because your exam's not far away, okay? So you don't have much time. If you're tired, if you're bored, if you've got nothing to do, you're exhausted, then yes, you can sit and do that, but that's more like for, you know, to help you relax or something like that, but not really. It's more like an addition, like a stress buster. Okay, so first thing, the first and most important thing is handbooks. There are a lot of handbooks. Please write this down. So you have your USEED, NID, NATA, your IIT JEE mains, your NIFT AC. What I'll do is I'll put all these links in Edge. So all of you all, I will put the exam strategy and put these links up. You can same links. The students have access. You can log in and you can get all these links, okay? So this is nothing but all the official, this is nothing but, I've kept them open. So see, this is like the NID website, the official website. The USEED websites, or the IIT JEE or NIFT websites, whatever, they're all here, okay? So the first thing is these handbooks. Very, 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 very important. So first of all, you should know where these websites are. You should be able to log into the handbook. The handbook will tell you exactly the following things, okay? It tells you exam patterns. It tells you exam syllabus, exam timing, duration, negative marks, sections, what are the different sections, section 1, section 2, section 3. It gives you the first thing is to get a good orientation. Many of you all don't even know the orientation to the exam you're going through. You must go through and read. Handbook. You should read the USEED handbook, NID handbook, your IIT JEE paper 2, your NATA as well as NIFT, prospectus, okay? So you should go there and you should see. So let's have a look at, say, one example. So if I go to the USEED section, so see, it's clearly given here. Summary of the paper structure, okay? That is section, numerical answer type, multiple select, multiple choice, number of questions, question numbers, how much if you get the correct marks, how much if you get wrong marks, if you're attempted, what is the total marks? This is extremely important. PG students, of course, have to go through the PG handbooks. So this is USEED. Besides this, there's also, information brochure, past year's question papers, everything is there, okay? So even if you look at the NIFT prospectus, Okay, so if you go to NIFT here, admissions, you click on prospectus here, and you scroll down, say page number 133, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, 104. Yeah, 130, as in, when I say 133, it's written 133 here. The brochure, it's 67 of 82 pages online, but it's page number 133, whatever. So here you have your GAT, CAT, the complete breakup, and the total marks, and everything out here. Okay, so similarly for NATA, IIT JEE paper 2, this is, yeah, it's all given out here, okay? This is JEE paper 2, mains bulletin, and everything is given out here. So please go through so that's the number one thing you should do, because the first thing you should have is an orientation itself to the exam, okay? So since we are on that note, like say for example, USEED, okay, we'll come to that. I'll talk about design first. Okay, let me talk about design. I'll talk about all the three simultaneously, so you can listen to whichever is important for you. So for NID, the total marks is 100. Aptitude is 30 marks. Drawing is 70 marks. It's a 3-hour paper, so that's 30% marks for aptitude and 70% marks for drawing. USEED is 300 marks, out of which you have 2.5 hours and 240 marks for drawing, and for aptitude, and drawing is 60 marks, which is 20%. Okay? Now, just see the difference between the two. There, drawing is 70%, here drawing is 20%. So you need to plan accordingly. So obviously, if your drawing is strong, your chances are higher in the NID exam. But ideally, you should be good in both. Now, I have written one point here, expect the unexpected. That is the most important thing, okay? What does that mean? That means last year on the NID website, they had given, in the handbook, they said aptitude was 70 marks and drawing was 30 marks. And when students went for the exam, it was the opposite, okay? So somebody who expected 30 marks in drawing got 70 marks in drawing the first time when they looked at the paper itself. So what I would tell you is, but that's okay, because if you've practiced well, in fact, if you've done well in your drawing, you would have been happy. Or if you're strong in drawing, you would be happy, right? So, and it's very simple. You need to be good in your drawing, you need to be good in your aptitude, you need to be